Hello, how is everybody? It has been ages since I have done a Facebook Live, and I thought I would jump on and have a bit of a chat. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is my latest blog post, which is based on that. It's the Census Social Media Report, and it's census with an S, not census with a C. And Census, if you don't know who they are, they're the company that run the white and yellow pages here in Australia. And everyone knows what the white pages and the yellow pages do. If you don't, it's a telephone directory. So what they do is, for the last few years, they have been surveying Australian consumers and Australian business owners. So they survey 800 Australians, consumers, equally distributed across gender, so there are 400 men and 400 women, and across age groups from 18 to 65 plus. So there are 160 people in each group. So what they do is each year, and then they interview another 1,100 businesses, 1,000 small to medium enterprises, and then 100 of the big boys. So it's, look, what did I check on the stat? There's I can't remember how many Aussies that there are. There's got to be more than 3 million. Maybe there's 3 billion. I can't remember. There's lots of us here in Australia. The stat is actually no, I didn't put it in my report. I think there's 43 million Australians from memory. That's on the census with the C. So it's not a huge number, but it's a good number, and it's better than the stats that we get out. Because here in Australia, a lot of businesses rely on, and this is why I analysed this report, a lot of Australian business owners rely on data out of the US. So they read the big blogs and they use, I'm just going to make sure, sorry, that looks weird. They use the numbers that come mostly out of the US from the big blogs. Well, us Aussies are different. For one, there's one Australian for every 3 kilometres of this wide land. So, and we are massive adopters of technology and social media. So I thought I'd jump on. I'm doing a live stream into my group about this on Monday. Once a month, the first Monday of each month, I do a live stream into my free Facebook group. And if you're not part of it, it's actually linked to my page over on the left-hand side of my page. So you can join there. So on Monday I'm going to answer some questions, but I thought I'd give you a little insight into what I found out. So here it is. So what some of the big things were that 80% of Australians use smartphones. And we're talking 18 to 65 plus, okay? So 80% of the 800 people use a smartphone. 84% of them access the internet daily, and that includes things like smartwatches and smart TVs. So good old Netflix, with or without the chill. 67% of those actually use their smartphone use their smartphone to access the internet at least 5 times a day. Okay, I admit I do that. I do a lot. But then again, this is my job. And 79% of those with access to the internet access social media. 79%. Now, you're going to say, well, Cara, okay, it's going to be disproportionate. There's going to be a lot of 18-year-olds and there's not going to be a lot of 65-year-old pluses. Just wait. I've got this mind-blown stat that's coming up. So one of the interesting things that came out that I wanted to talk to you briefly, because in my next blog post I'm talking more, this is more about what we do. And the next one is, or where we go. And the next one, hey Dee, the next one is about what we actually do on social media. So here are some interesting stats. 90 to 99% of all Australians who use social media are on Facebook. That includes those over the age of 65. Now, I said there was going to be a mind-blown stat. Did you know that those aged over 65 are more likely to use Facebook than those aged 40 to 49? Huh? So people my age are less likely to be on Facebook than their own parents. How does that work out? I was just like, mind blown. I mean, my mum is on Facebook, so I shouldn't be that surprised, but then again, so am I. So that was a really interesting statistic. So what you need to take away from that as a business owner is don't discredit your ability to reach those people aged over 65 on Facebook, because they're there. A lot of people say, oh, but they're not on Facebook, they're too old. Yeah, they actually are on Facebook. And here's the other thing. If you work for some person, shouldn't just say guy, someone who thinks that you shouldn't or you don't need to be on Facebook for your marketing, then they need to read this, get this report and whack it under their noses, and get my blog post, which is up on my website, and wham it under their noses, because, like I said, 79% of those accessing the internet access social media, and between 90 and 99% of those are on Facebook. I mean, that's a massive amount of Australians who are on Facebook. And it's just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. Now, the last thing that I wanted to share, and there was just this little mind-blowing thing, was Instagram and YouTube. So I always thought that Instagram was mostly the domain of women, something like Pinterest. Did you know that 60% of men that access social media are on YouTube? And women, it's about 40%. That is a lot more men on Instagram than what I originally thought. So I'll leave you with that thought. If you're not on Facebook, or if your business is not on Facebook, why not? Go and get yourself a Facebook page. If you're uncertain, if you're aiming at men, if your target audience is men, you need to be on Instagram. Sorry, because 60% of your audience is actually over there. They make up 60%. And if you have any questions about this, read my blog. It was posted last night. You can find it on my website, which is linked to my page. If you want to know more, if you've got questions about this, join my Facebook group. It's linked here on my page as well. If you can't find any of that, send me a message and I'll shoot the links through to you. So that's it. That's my Friday Fireside, all about the Census social media report from this year. I look forward to telling you more about how we use social media and where we use it. And I will chat to you again next week, and I look forward to seeing you in my group. See you then.